Hey, and she's back. Welcome to my channel. Today we're going to talk about how to improve your English, your spoken English, and I'm going to share with you my top three tips on how to be a better English speaker. So first, let's start with the why. Why is it that you do not think of yourself as a confident, powerful English speaker? I think it only comes from one thing only, and that is your fear. Sadly, we have this concept of people will not understand me when I open my mouth and start speaking in English, or people will judge me, people will make fun of me, people will laugh at the way I pronounce things. Well, guess what? It's all in your head, because I look back at the way I was when I was learning Italian, for example. Okay, so I was an intermediate, I would say, at that time, intermediate Italian speaker, and so I decided to study abroad for a month. So I went to Italy, and guess what? When I started speaking Italian, although it was pretty broken and, intermediate, so it wasn't really impressive to me, but to Italians, much to my surprise, I was the superstar that just came in their small town, decided to speak Italian. That was a revelation to me because I didn't know that they would actually, no, let me take that back. I did not believe that they would actually understand me. They would actually know what I was talking about. Surprise, surprise! Not only did they understand my broken Italian, they also complimented me on how I pronounce things. So it just goes to show you that many of our fears, although they are deep, deep in our psyche, they are really irrational, because come to think of it, the purpose of any language, really, not just English, is to communicate, to convey what you want to say. And yes, sometimes it happens with your fingers, especially when you're speaking Italian. But overall, I have to say, they were impressed. Okay, let's turn this situation around. Think about your own native language, whatever it is. For example, when I hear people speaking Polish, my native language, if anything, I'm just impressed with the way they use it. Yes, sometimes they make mistakes, but who doesn't, right? Who doesn't make mistakes? There are no perfect people in this world. And so for that reason, I just think it's really adorable if someone makes a mistake in my native language. So when it's my turn to speak English, Italian, whatever, and then people of that country, hear that, they are most likely impressed. I've never actually came across someone who would intentionally make fun of someone who's trying to speak their native language, unless they're super mean, but it doesn't really happen when you think of native speakers. Has it ever happened to you that someone would just come up to you and just mock you the way you speak English? No. If anything, it happens with people of your own nation. They are the first ones to criticize the way you speak, the way you use the grammar. So it's one thing to remember that it's all in our heads. So right now, without further ado, I want to jump into the 3 things that helped me to become a better English speaker. And here, my teddy bear will come in handy, okay? So this is my greatest helper. When I started learning English at the age of, I think, 8 or 9, this was my little helper. So back then, I didn't really have native speakers at my disposal. I didn't really have too many resources, so I had to create my own. And this was one of the biggest helpers that I had, because I was able to role play. And I think that's really underestimated, the importance of role play and the way we learn English, is that you're able to have some fun with what you already know. Okay, so when you tap into that inner child, you basically are able to have fun with English. And when you have fun, this is when the magic happens, because your brain acts in a way that it releases endorphins, right? And so when you have fun, you're like a kid again, and then it's all fun and you're able to just enjoy the process. So instead of sitting at your book, take some toys and have fun. Just be a kid again. I'm telling you, it does wonders to you. So this is one of the ways that I helped myself, because I didn't have resources back then. So all I had to do was take my dolls and play with them in English, and that's the whole thing. Another small adjustment that now, thanks to technology, you can make is record yourself, okay? Sometimes I know, because I hate the sound of my own voice. It can be really daunting and challenging to record yourself, but it gives you an opportunity to autocorrect. What do I mean by that? You can simply replay the recording or the video and observe yourself and try to catch your own mistakes, because that also helps you tremendously in your attempt to be a better English speaker. Okay? Number 2 is teaching. Okay? So whatever concept that you're trying to learn in English, again, go back to your resources. Cute, right? And teach the concept to your doll or your teddy bear. I know it sounds silly, especially for grown-ups, people who are supposed to be serious, right? But it's all about having fun. And then when you teach a concept to a teddy bear, come on, it doesn't get better than that. But then also when you explain the process, explain a concept or an idiom, whatever the case may be, to this adorable teddy bear, look at him, you absorb it better. It becomes part of your knowledge, of your system. So this is tip number 2. And my third tip for improving your spoken English is singing. I know, everybody says it, but the way I encourage you to do singing is usually when you're by yourself. For example, I don't know, you're driving a car or you're just walking around the house and just sing. The beauty of that is you get to experience the melody, the intonation of the language. And I'm not encouraging you to sing to, let's say, rap songs. No, if you want to get the language down, I encourage you to sing to, I don't know, Frank Sinatra, classics. Something that would help you take in the melody and the rhythm of the language. This way, you do it on your own terms. You do it at home, in the comfort of your home. And when you're ready, this will be the step that you need, the missing link, basically, between breaking that fear of speaking, because you've practiced that by then. When you're ready to face the world, when you're ready to speak to a native speaker, you've already done the service of practicing for hours and hours on end, whether it's with your teddy bear, singing on your own, or recording yourself when you talk to yourself in the mirror or sing in the shower. Do that in English and see what it does to you. It helped me become the speaker that I am today, so I strongly encourage you to do the same, and let me know what you think in the comments. I'll talk to you later.